We also call on the Smart Women Initiative. Please, let's put our hands together for the Smart Women Initiative.
Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Honorable Minister of Government, I plead to stand on all existing protocols. I greet you all. Before I read my speech, I would like to start by asking us to continue in that same spirit that says, Baby Makane. I am a young woman, and I am here not only to represent myself, but to represent every young person. And thank you so much, Madam First Lady, for being an unconventional First Lady and making us believe that we can be the people we want to become. Thank you. Thank you. I can stand here and dance and I will be excused because the First Lady is an unconventional First Lady. I feel truly humbled to be invited to this noble gathering. I always like to remind myself that whenever given such opportunity, I have the responsibility to speak on behalf of every young person, especially women, girls, and persons with disabilities. I love celebrations like the International Women's Day. I know that the International Women's Day is a day set aside to recognize and applaud the strength and contributions made by women globally. The month of March is also considered Women's Month. How fascinating it gets, especially on the 8th. We saw the celebrations we received a few days ago on social media with some nice words, beautiful dinners, and gifts. I smiled at them not because of its pleasantry, but because I know it was all a charade. At homes, we're daily battered physically, as well as drained emotionally. At work, we're sexually harassed. Politically, we're only compensated by just few appointments. Within our society, we're blamed for every predicament. I was raised in a society where I was told not to speak too loud because I'm a girl. That my outfit is an invite to rape. And that I'm not supposed to aspire too high or else I'll be tagged overambitious. All this because I'm a woman. I'm also told that to be a complete woman, I have to be a married one because his last name will add feather to my local cap. Last Friday, I attended an International Women's Day celebration, and all of us present were women. I was asked a question by someone I consider a feminist and also a mentor. And she said to me, Amira, when are you getting married? I think it is time. And my response was very simple as I looked at her and said, I'm only turning 30 this year, so that shouldn't be an issue for anyone. She then said, this is the right time. Who is that boyfriend? I pondered for days over these thoughts, and I came to the conclusion that people we tend to admire from a distance do not live what they preach. But I had to just make myself understand that there's one thing I owe myself, which is my truth, my time, and I have to do it my way. Most married women I meet, I'm talking about young and old, complain similar challenges of being disrespected, cheated on, and treated with utmost disrespect. Words like, men are created to be cheats because of their sexual urges. In order to be a wife material, a woman must be submissive, a great cook, and be respectful. Before I go further, we heard some of our religious leaders stating that, which I don't consider a fact. I struggle to understand why you don't find these words demeaning and disrespectful. Rather, it seems normal, and some of us are tired of society normalizing the wrongs. I am being deliberate in using the pronoun I. This is because my story is not much different from most women and girls in Sierra Leone. Surviving sexual child abuse at age 8, attempted rape at 18, and I partly grew up in a domestic violence home. There had always been a fear of me losing my mom to abuse the next moment, or probably I might not get the chance to see the next second. Being born and raised in a country like Sierra Leone where violence and impunity is normalized, the safety and security of women and girls are jeopardized on a daily basis. Being born a female in Sierra Leone means extra work. Parents cannot leave their girl child to play in neighborhoods, even with family members, without fear of being sexually abused or with the possibility of your girl child being murdered. I am scared. She is scared. We are scared as women. Sadly, in our society, we still have women who doubt the truth of other women. This is simple. It makes us understand that these women are gatekeepers of inequality and condone violence and suffering of females in all spheres. I once heard a female government minister say to me, "Forgive him, for he has hurt you. Please do not make a report." If I share my experience with you, then you will know that men are the same. This trend hurts so bad as a young woman in my country. We are in a society where men in power use and play with women's bodies as toys and experiments, if we dare question them, we are told it's just a joke. Working out, thank you. But this is just the truth. I had to put down what I feel and what I have experienced as a young woman growing up for 3 decades of existence on planet Earth. Walking out of the office of one minister in this country, and he chose, without my consent, to spank my buttocks. When I raised my voice on this issue, some men and women defended his actions with a question like, "Why did you go to his office? Why is it that you're the only woman in the country that always experiences abuse?" The answer is simple. The voices of women have been submerged with fear of being killed, stigmatized, rejected, cursed, or even doubt. And for this reason, most chose to be silent about it. The difference is, I choose to speak up and speak out really, really loud. Do we know that women with disabilities experience sexual and gender-based violence at a high rate? My organization, Smart Women's Initiative, works with visual, speech, and hearing impaired female survivors of sexual and domestic abuse in Sierra Leone. With almost 3.5 years working closely with hearing and speech impaired women, we have recorded that 4 in 10 deaf women have experienced one form of GBV, mostly sexual abuse. When I was seated there before the program commenced, I said to myself, what if I was a young woman that had lost her hearing? Would you, or have you catered for me to participate in this event? Not really. That is just clear. Madam First Lady, we cannot achieve equality if we fail to be inclusive. Kindly express our concerns to His Excellency the President of our great Republic of Sierra Leone that he should kindly make sign language mandatory in the national school curriculum. We need this. The country can only boast of 3 deaf schools nationwide, and this tells us that if any one of us, including myself, become deaf here and today, that's the end of my future in this country. We have failed the deaf community by not making efforts to learn their means of communication. How can they seek redress when abused, when our system lacks speciality on issues of special needs? As Mama Hansel was making an instance of victims, survivors going to legal aid for redress. If a hearing impaired female wants to seek redress and she has been abused, can you please identify one place in Sierra Leone that understands how to deal with such women within the disability category? I am certain we have none in this country. Again, I say we cannot achieve equality if we fail to be inclusive in our work. Madam First Lady, kindly express our appreciation to our beloved President for creating more space for women to be part of our esteemed armed force. I have a couple of friends here in Auslav, and they love to serve. This is one of my friends. Since I was a child, I grew up hearing a saying that is allegedly used in the army: obey and complain later. But if it is so, women should not obey and complain later to harassment. You should not obey and complain later to unwanted touchings. You should not obey and complain later to demeaning words, threats, groping, and so on. Let me remind those who are in the habit of taking advantages of women that the Sexual Offences Act of 2012 has been amended in 2019 by His Excellency retired Julius Madabio. The amended Sexual Offences Act 2019 has an addition of 3 laws, so be warned. All of us are dear to be different, as I choose myself and all of you present here today to work together as we create an enabling environment where women and girls can thrive and we all can unearth our fullest potential. I wish you all a happy International Women's Day and Women's Month, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Smart Women Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for her. Madam First Lady, we want to continue, please, with the entertainment. Let's all join our hands together as I invite the great